Okay, welcome. I'd like to call this December 11th, 2023 Finance Committee meeting in order. It's our last one of the year.
I know.
So we should enjoy this one. Okay. First item we have is assignment for request for council action. We have several for the Finance Committee. We have 23-236, approved flock safety contract. 23-237, increased PO, Signal Service Company Street Department. 23-238, expenditure over 20,000 Jetta Fuel Airport. 23-239, budget amendments. 23-240, expenditure over 20,000 Green Home Solutions. 335 South Prospect. 23-241, blanket PO, Technology Engineering IT Department. 23-242, amend ODOD Building Demolition Grant Application, ED. 23-243, CHIP Private Rehab, 520 North State Street, Green Home Solutions. 23-244, CHIP Private Rehab, 850 North Huntington, Green Home Solutions. 23-245, agreement with Cunningham and Associates, Medina State Street Bridge Replacement. 23-246, water infrastructure grant application with ODD Engineering. 23-247, repeal ordinance 168-23 and replace MOU with County Granger Road Water. 23-248, expenditure over 20,000 Software Solutions annual support. And 23-249, increase PO 30 Circle Drive fiscal year 2020 CHIP.
Is that it?
That's it for the request. Next item is 23-236, agreement with Flock Safety Police Department. Chief Kinney?
Thank you, Mr. President. We're in the middle of a two-year contract with Flock right now, and that was for a total of $50,000. They are increasing their prices approximately $500 per camera, so that would be $25,000 per year. They've given us the opportunity to lock in our current pricing, which would sidestep their increase, but would lock in our current pricing if we sign a 5-year agreement with them starting in 2024. The 5-year agreement would be a total cost of $125,000. It's $25,000 a year, and that would, again, save us quite a bit of money, $25,000 over the term of that contract. The emergency clause is requested because the quote that they gave us is good until December 30th. It's been a tremendously successful program, the license plate readers. We've recovered stolen vehicles. We've found folks who have been entered missing, elderly at-risk people who have been missing. At least 2 or 3 of those individuals. Actually, this past weekend, we were able to intercept a stolen trailer that was stolen in Canton and was full of stolen goods. It was someone from Canton, so they were likely coming to Medina to steal additional items here in our city. So we were able to prevent additional crimes based on that Flock LPR hit. So we're requesting council to approve this 5-year contract. Again, it will save us money in the long run as well.
Yes, and I emailed the chief back and forth, and these are all cellular-driven camera systems, I think, that are covered by Flock. And I think, is it all-inclusive cost, the $25,000 a year? Is that the all-inclusive cost, or is there other costs that we have to put on top of it as far as, I think it includes maintenance and, if I remember correctly, and it includes the cellular.
It is all-inclusive. There were some installation fees, but we had already incurred those, expended that. The cameras are in place and have been in place for over a year. So this is the fees for maintenance, the cellular connections, and operation of the cameras.
And correct me if I'm wrong, are these the lease cameras? If they break, they replace them, or do we, yeah?
Yes, sir. They own the cameras. We pay the subscription. They maintain it and make sure they're up and taking pictures. Yep. And again, this is not a traffic camera. This is only taking a picture of the license plates. That's it.
Paul?
Okay, with the upgrade of with the replacement of equipment, they automatically update it, or do they just replace in kind?
They replace as they break.
Okay, but do they bring us the latest and greatest, or do they just give us something that just broke?
No, the cameras are all the same. They have upgraded our solar panels. The solar panels, the company's from Georgia. So when they initially created these cameras and invented it, they had solar panels that were made for the southern United States. So in time, they realized as they deployed these in the northern part of the United States that they needed to come up with a solution for cold weather, winter time. So they did upgrade us to the newest batteries and the newest solar panels, but the cameras haven't changed since they've been deployed.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 23-237 is amend ordinance 4223, increase signal service for the streets department. Nino?
Thank you, Mr. President. This one's a little complicated and complex. In July of 2022, there was a multiple vehicle crash at West Smith and Huntington. So there was a responsible party was cited for destroying our master cabinet, which handles the traffic control, right? So we had signal service come out, make temporary repairs as we always do, a loaner cabinet. Went back and forth with State Farm, that was the insured's insurance company. They agreed finally that they were responsible. Fast forward to '23, we had the permanent fix made, and the insurance company, claimed that they would send the check to Signal Service in the amount of $51,024. Well, they did send the check to Signal Service, but it was made out to the city of Medina. So therefore, they brought the check to us, Keith's office deposited it, so now we owe Signal Service. So that's why the request is to increase the PO that we have existing for Signal Service for that work. Partially was done in 2022, and the balance was completed here early in 2023. And I asked for the emergency clause because they've not received payment. And again, we're talking about work that started in July of 2022.
Any questions?
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
23-238, expenditure over $35,000 to Jet A Fuel Epic Aviation. Keith?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for jet fuel for 2024 year. The emergency clause is so the purchase order is effective prior to January 1st, so we can buy fuel without running into a then and now situation. You can see on the request, so far this year, we spent a little over 75,000. It'll probably be around 85,000 for the year. The request is 135. It may not be that much, but we need to have room so that if we sell more, or if the price goes up, and what we sell it for will essentially should cover what we do, so it doesn't really matter. It's just,
Questions?
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 23-239, we have budget amendments. We have 2023-65 is the first one. Keith?
this is covering negatives. You see there's a couple of maintenances of equipment. There's one of the court funds, a repayment of an advance, and then the addition at the rec center.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2023-66, check number 38-429. Keith?
This is a contribution we received, and then we've got to approve the acceptance of it and expenditure.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2023-67, check number 73-484. Keith?
Same thing.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2023-68, clearing negatives.
These are not new appropriations, they're transfers of appropriations, but they're just moving appropriations around to cover expenditures as we get towards the end of the year.
Questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2023-70, grant license plate reader program.
This is grant funding for I think for that flock camera system.
Yeah, it's the grant for the LPR, just appropriating it.
Okay. Questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 23-240, increased expenditure, Green Home Solutions, 335 South Prospect. Andrew?
Thank you. Yes, this is an existing chip home repair project at 335 South Prospect. The original amount was for $21,900. This is adding $2,560 to install a concrete pad and entrance ramp and a fence. So the total requested amount will be $24,460. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 23-241, the 2024 blanket PO for technology engineering for the IT department. Who's going to do this one? Sergeant Zaremba's not here. I guess that's just a blanket for services. It's pretty self-explanatory. $30,000 for.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mike? Mike? I don't
Turn
think
your
it-
mic on, Mayor.
Sorry. This is just a blanket PO. We don't expect we'll spend 30,000, but they handle with all the servers. Anytime there's a problem with the server or a server goes down and we get a new one shipped here under our maintenance contract, but then we have to transfer all the data from the old one to the new one. And Harvey's group helps us with that, helps the court with that, and also helps the schools with their technology needs. And by having all three of us work together, it keeps all the systems in sync with one another.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 23-242, amend grant application for ODOD building demolition for the Economic Development Department. Ms. Marshall.
Thank you, Mr. President. On November 13th, council passed Resolution 18923 to apply for the Ohio Department of Development Building Demolition Site Revitalization Grant to demo the Tots House and accessory structures located at the Medina Municipal Airport and execute all the paperwork pertaining to the grant. The County Review Committee met on December 4th and approved the grant application. However, the city will need to contribute $6,230 in matching funds to move the project forward. Unfortunately, they did not tell us that this pot of money had a match to it at the time of application. So, as an update from the last time we brought this to council, we did get some budget estimates, and the total cost of the project is estimated at $126,671. After the County Review Committee met, the Medina County Port Authority Board met, because all of these grant funds go through the Port Authority. They're the lead entity for the state. So they met and reviewed all the applications and the recommendations from the committee and voted to approve that, subject to council's approval of the matching dollars. I talked to Lori in finance on a couple potential funds that we could take the money from. There's the airport fund, which is a 547 account, and then general purpose, I think it's general purpose capital 301. She did say that there is money in both of those accounts that could cover this cost. So I guess it would be up to council on one, do you want to pay for the matching funds? And then two, if so, which account?
Thank you. Any questions? I think, knowing council, I guess we'd probably want to, pay for the matching funds because it's a lot less than the total cost of the project of $126,000. But my suggestion would be take it from the airport fund since it's an airport project. But anybody disagree with that?
No, makes sense.
547 it is. So any other questions?
I make a motion, and then that the airport fund 547-0650-52215 be used.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 23-243, expenditure over $35,000, chip rehab 520 North State Road. Andrew?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a chip rehabilitation project. It's a purchase order to Green Home Solutions for 520 North State Road for $50,065. The project includes new gutters, downspouts, windows, and doors on the exterior. Interior includes new water heater supply lines, appliances, bathroom remodel, and electric throughout the home. The emergency clause is requested as the contractor is ready to begin the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. 23-244, expenditure over $35,000 for chip rehab 850 North Huntington Street. Andrew?
This is another chip rehabilitation project, 850 North Huntington, again to Green Home Solutions. The cost is $40,575. Exterior work includes gutters, downspouts, kitchen vent, new patio, replacement windows and doors. Interior work includes doors, ceiling repair, appliances, and update electric throughout. Again, the emergency clause is requested as Green Home Solutions is ready to begin. Thank you.
Any questions?
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 23-245, agreement with Cunningham and Associates for Medina Street Bridge. Patrick?
Thank you. We did go through a selection process to hire a consultant to do the design work for the Medina Street Bridge. After completion of that process, we found that Cunningham Associates was the most preferred consultant. They've done this work for us in the past. They did both North Broadway and Spring Grove. So we're recommending we award this project to them. As a reminder, this construction of this project will be funded at a rate of 79% of the cost, up to a maximum of $490,000 through Ohio Public Works.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 23-246, water infrastructure grant application, Ohio Department of Development. Patrick?
Thank you. This is a grant that we became aware of here in November. It's a statewide water infrastructure improvement program. We've applied for this grant program before. We were not successful, so we thought we'd try it again with this round of money. We will need an emergency clause on this because the grant is due January 17th, and the council meeting where this would get approved would be January 8th, so at that point we'll need an emergency clause. One thing to discuss, and I included the information, the grant in the packet, a match is not required. However, they strongly suggest, it's strongly encouraged. I submitted this with a recommendation of 10%, but just so council knows, we don't have to do that, or we could offer more in hopes of getting a better review, but wanted to throw it out there.
Well, thanks for throwing it out. Where do you?
Now John's going to throw it out.
If you want to use the 108 account, it looks like, is that the
Yeah, and I
appropriate
would note
conference?
that grant that we submitted before, it was for the South Court Street Water Tower repainting. We did not offer any match on that one. We weren't successful. I'm not sure if this will put us over the top or not. I don't know, but
Well, I mean, it makes sense as far as the match coming from the 108, since it is a quote-unquote utility, but what does everybody else think? Do you think 10% he's hit it on the mark, or do you think he's thrown it against the wall?
Well,
Bob?
last time we submitted 0 and we didn't get the grant. Let's try 10% and see if we get the grant. Because 10% is a whole lot cheaper than 78.5.
yeah.
Okay.
Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
We are asking for $748,000 in grant funds, so I think it would be worth it.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm
Motion.
sorry. Wait,
Wait.
you did not need the emergency clause?
We do.
We do, okay, I'll amend it to include the emergency
My
clause.
second includes the emergency clause.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. 23-247, repeal ordinance 168-23 and replace MOU with county with Granger Road. Patrick?
Thank you. In October, council adopted ordinance 168-23, which was an MOU with the county regarding the transfer of water services on Granger Road related to that water line break we had in the Rocky River. Maybe I jumped the gun a little bit, but I was under the impression that that agreement was finalized a couple days after you passed it. County prosecutor submitted some revisions to the language. There's nothing that changes the basic scope of the agreement. It was just kind of legalese, I think.
Or just legalese?
Just legalese, yeah. Some lawyer thought he needed to.
Oh, well, okay, maybe I thought it was something important, but if it's just legalese, that's just nonsense, legal. So, Mr. Huber, you're okay with the changes? Yes. Any other questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
23-248, expenditure over $35,000, software solutions annual support. Keith?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is for the annual support for Software Solutions. We do not need emergency clause for this because their year runs from March 1st. So if this is approved at the January meeting, it'll be effective in February, which is in time.
Okay, any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 23-249, increase PO at 30 Circle Drive for fiscal year 2020 CHIP. Andrew?
Thank you, Mr. President. So this is, again, from our program year 2020 CHIP at 30 Circle Drive, which we have received an extension on. This has to do with some problems we're having in the basement. Originally, the contractor had an amount to waterproof the basement. They found some structural damage to the walls. and an increase of 21,100 is needed to secure the basement walls. That actually has a little bit of reduction along with the addition because they didn't have to do part of it. This is crucial because it's part of the, the foundation of the structure, and also it needs to be done before additional work can be completed on the house. So the emergency clause is requested, and this is also requested to be put on council tonight, as it's critical to the safety of the house, and the contractors are lined up for the next parts of this repair. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Move to approve with the emergency clause.
Second, including the emergency clause?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there anything else that anybody has to bring before finance this evening? Hearing nothing, the meeting is adjourned.